first spaceships. Even if then later you have a larger spaceship, you can keep the smaller one into the big mothership. That's the same thing for the crew. If you start with 1 or 2 members in your crew, then you can have them in your big mothership later. We had, in fact, in Beyond Good and Evil 1, when the characters were getting out of the hovercraft. So here we have that monkey, which is my playable main character here, but of course, just to give you a feeling of scale, that ship is about 20 meters long, and the other one, the mothership, is about 400 meters long. I'm going to go close to it so that you can see the size. So when we have large spaceships like that, the good thing, the interesting thing is that they are a real level of gameplay. You can go inside. We have interiors for those big ingredients. So imagine I'm at the beginning of the game, I'm starting the game, I have nothing, but imagine I'm just delivering pizzas. Here it's like a side quest or just a way among many to get some money. Taking a picture of evidence of the things I'm seeing in the game, then I can share those pictures with the guys in the city, for example, and then I can trigger discussions with those guys based on the picture I took. So that's a very interesting mechanic. Another very interesting thing here is the feeling of scale. Here we know that the players, they will explore everything. They will want to go everywhere. So we need to handle large scale ingredients, like that huge statue. Interesting about the scale and the feeling of scale. So I'm going to land on the top of the statue and you will realize how big it is. So here we have a wonderful vista. And really notice and understand the feeling of scale when you look at that little monkey on top of the big statue. This is just a part of the head of the statue and you're already very small. And it's very interesting to understand the scale of things. In fact, that statue, which is big, is just into a big city that is very small, in fact, compared to the continent here, the size of that big island, and which is a small part of a big planet. So you realize that you are just a little dot on that big planet, which is in fact just a small planet around a bigger one, which is a small dot in the big universe. It's not exactly a sunset made by artists. It's really the combinations of physical ingredients, you know, the light that is changing depending on the atmosphere. So you can see here the different colors. And the fact that, of course, the planet is rotating around in space around the big planet. So here I'm doing a kind of time lapse. I'm modifying the time so that you can understand better how it works. You see that everything is turning like in, you know, there is no sheet or things like that. You can really appreciate the point of view wherever you are. It will be the same mechanics. So that was one of the big features we wanted to make sure that we had before showing the game to the public, to everybody, so that we wanted to make sure that the technology was working and this big ambitious game was. So that spaceship is very, very nice. It's very close to the Beluga we had in Beyond Good and Evil 1. It can handle very large speed, but it's also very easy to do loopings and trigger very fast movements. So classic plane speed we have on Earth. We are about 1,000 kilometers per hour, and you will see so the speed is increasing now. You see that it's about 5,000 kilometers per hour. Let's go back in the city so that we can really understand the speed, and I can increase the speed again. Whoa. Use some tricks, movement. So you can combine anything, any movements. And the very nice thing too is that you can even increase the speed to 20,000 kilometers per hour, which is a lot. I'm going to try, to drift like that. So at any time you have the drifting mode, you have all these very. So let's trigger higher speed. And you speed. There is no reason to have more friction, but if I'm increasing the speed, you will see that the effect is stronger. And same thing if I'm going very, very fast. So depending on the quantity of atmosphere, you can have a stronger effect. Until you start burning. A wonderful view in space. So if I decide to go on this planet or the satellite, a very interesting thing too is that there's a lot of biomes on the planet, like this desert, or you have frozen lands on the planet, different seas. So they are not empty, repetitive planets. The planets we aim to work on, to make our planets with life. And the planet itself is living somehow. For example, that planet has different, I would say, big biomes. Because that planet, as I told you, is a satellite of the bigger one, the one that is in the foreground.